y'all, Christine here. Thank you for coming into my backyard this beautiful evening. I'm going to take you on my first garden tour. This garden space is brand new. We just finished installing it into our backyard makeover, and I'm super excited to share it with you. This is our infancy year. This is year zero, ground zero, where we're really learning how each of these new plants that we put into our backyard is going to grow and develop in the particular area that we are in. I'm located here in North Texas, zone 8A, 8B, and right now it's May, so it's the beginning of May, and we're about to hit our first 100-degree day. It's going to be hot. We're going to be like, what the heck? But this is right. This is what summer feels like. So yes, so we're in North Texas, zone 8A, 8B. My garden is in the backyard. This particular garden tour, my garden is in the backyard. My backyard faces northeast. So we get a lot of good sun, a lot of morning sun in certain locations. So that gentle, easy breeze, morning sun. But we also get some of that harsh, full 8 hours of North Texas heat sun. So it's going to be really lovely and interesting to know how all of our plants grow and thrive in our backyard. The goal of our backyard butterfly garden, as it says in its name, is to attract the butterflies. Our goal is really to be able to watch, once all the butterflies start coming here to North Texas, to watch all the various types of butterflies land here. So we want to grow nectar-rich flowers and plants, but we also want to make sure we're growing our native plants here in North Texas, our native plants to Texas, which is still things I'm going to be learning about, the native aspect of growing plants. But we also want to learn about the other thing I want to make sure we incorporate into this backyard butterfly space is we want to make sure that this place looks well maintained and a little bit of manicured. We don't want anything going too wild here. We want to make sure that our plants are drought tolerant and heat loving or heat resistant, because like I keep saying, it's going to be hot here in like tomorrow, and for an extended amount of time here in just like 1 month. So yes, those are the main goals of the backyard butterfly garden that we have here, that we're growing and maintaining here. So yes, in this video I'm going to just get some close-ups of the various sections of our backyard butterfly garden. I'm going to show you the different colors that we have growing, the different plants, and some things that maybe are not quite blooming yet either. So that's the goal of this video, is to introduce you to our year zero backyard butterfly garden here in North Texas. So this is the view as if you were coming in through the back gate from the front yard to the backyard. So we have garden space on the right hand of the yard against this neighbor's fence line, and then we also have curved garden bed against our house as well. I would really like to kind of section off, you know, like, hey, this part of the garden is for these plants to give it this sort of look. But, you know, year one, we are still learning and designing out what makes our garden happy for us. So over here, part of the design plan is we incorporated these boulders. We have maybe like, I don't know, 5 of them back here. So we incorporated these boulders into the design plan. And so I'm just going to go through. So we have several of these reds, Salvia Greggi, and the hummingbirds love them. I have yet to set up any camera at each of the Salvia because I really want to capture them on video, the hummingbirds. This is a cat's pajamas. Cat's Mint Cat Pajamas is the variety. This one is from Proven Winners. And remember, everything has just been added this year. We have a nice little section of Lantana. New Gold Lantana, which I believe is a Texas superstar. So I expect these plants to thrive here in North Texas. And they already are so happy. We got this beautiful gold look with the contrasting green foliage. These are going to be beautiful and a wonderful attractor too for our pollinators and our butterflies. So then we added in some grass as well our ornamental grasses to our landscape design. The two here and here, these are your pink mulies. And then back here is a miscanthus grass as well. Some of them are starting to show tufts of their grass that I'll have to take an up close picture of as well. So then we come over here, we have a whirling butterfly, which this morning there was a bee on it, so just loving it. So these things are so beautiful. They definitely were a hit in the early spring, and I'm going to see how they go as the season goes on. Can't get that focus. There we go. But yeah, these are a beautiful little wand flower Gara whirling butterfly. There was an open space here. So I added in some 3 annuals. These are penta, which are wonderful nectar-rich flowers for your butterflies. Coming over here, you got a Spanish lavender, which we have maybe like 2 others in our garden mix. And then down this plot, about 16 feet of garden space, I added in, this is where we'll have our sunflowers and our zinnias. So we have some tall sunflowers growing back here. I got seeds from Eden Brothers. I got Earthwalker and the Ring of Fire. So I expect these to be branching about 5 to 6 foot tall flowers. And you see that one down there who's really loving it so far. These get full 8+ hours of sun. So we got zinnias that are also from Eden Brothers seeds. I started these back in like March, end of February, inside my garage. Let's see, I found one of these. I found bud, which makes me super excited. Where's that bud? There she is. There's that bud. We're gonna have a flower soon. And it's so cool to watch because now they're like starting to branch off their main stem, which makes me really think that they're healthy and they're growing really great roots. I've been coming in and adding in some water-soluble fertilizer here in this section. Probably add maybe like 6 gallons of water-soluble fertilizer solution every like 10 days. I try to do. Up here I have a shorty sunflower. The package says it'll grow about 32 inches tall, and it's going to be like a fluffy looking sunflower. It's the variety Sun Gold, but a dwarf. So I have a few of those down here too. I added in some cinnamon basil. These are just babies right now. So let's see how they grow. I think it'll be a nice little added different appearance, different cute little variety to the look of this part of the garden bed. So now I'm going to back up and go over here. So here's that fence, here's that gate that I was quote unquote coming through. And now we have this line, full line of garden bed. So I'm just going to walk on through and talk about the different varieties of flowers that we have. I incorporated some host plants in here for the swallowtail butterfly. So we have common rue. That's here. I also have one other on the other side. Right down there. So these guys will grow about 2 to 3 feet high, tall, and it's going to eventually have some yellow flowers on top. Then we have a fennel, which is a swallowtail butterfly host plant as well. And then we added in a couple dahlias. I just picked these up at the local nursery. I don't know what the name is of these, but I think they're doing this one is doing so wonderful. I also add water-soluble fertilizer to this one about 10 days, every 10 days. And they're happy, and they're branching, and they have more buds that are growing. So I feel very satisfied about how this plant is doing in this location of my flower bed. Again, another red salvia. And these came in a 1 gallon. And I feel like this guy is at least 50% more of its size. He is so healthy and happy. I also fertilized back here at the beginning of the season, about like 6 weeks after these guys were planted. I came back in and added in an organic fertilizer, Epsoma, the plant tone, and I just followed the instructions on the package. And I like to think that's helping these guys do so well, and I think I'm really going to see what happens tomorrow when it's our first 100-degree day. So this is a homestead verbena. It's supposed to be a good ground cover. So we have 2 here, and then we need to get these ones replaced. This is supposed to be a verbena, and then yeah, there's another one right there. So those need replaced. We have some black-eyed Susan. Oh yes, look, finally. There's a bud. I've been waiting and waiting for these guys to come up and expose some buds, and they're coming. They were really short, right? There were just like 20 leaves in the beginning when they were first planted. And now they've been growing for like 2 months. Happy, happy guys in this section. This dahlia probably could use some help. I've been fertilizing this one. I've been trimming off some of the flowers. These guys need to be deadheaded. But this one is not as happy as that other one. But it's still beautiful. And I'm not giving up on it because you got a bud there. And you got some buds that are showing and they're starting to branch. So I think it'll really start to show some good health. Here's another Miscanthus grass. And like I was saying, we're getting some of the little tufts of grass starting to show on some of ours. Miscanthus grasses. So as I mosey on down this section of bed, we have this beautiful weeping redbud in Ruby Falls. Y'all, I didn't really think this was going to be so pretty, and I can't wait until next year when it's more established and in the springtime when it shows just the really bright pink flowers. Look at that. There he is. There he is. Let's see if we can try to catch him. Oh, no. I don't know where he went. But there was a hummingbird just now. He's over here on the salvia. There's no way we're going to... You can kind of see him taking some drinks of the sweet nectar from that red salvia over there. Yes, about evening time and morning time, not in direct daytime, though sometimes I have seen them if I'm working out on our patio. But they definitely come about this time and in the morning. We'll see our 2 regulars come visit us in the garden. I'm sure I captured some. There he is. I may have not been focused on watching the hummingbird there for a second when I was talking about how frequently they visit. They visit in the evening. Our 2 regulars come in the evening, and sometimes they come in the morning, and then sometimes they come during the day. So as I was saying, we have the ruby redfall, the ruby red bud in Ruby Falls, this beautiful tree. We have 2 more up in the front part of our landscape. But I'm not going to go up there right now because our landscape is not completely finished up there. So I'm just going to come on down here. I planted in some Thumbelina zinnia seeds down here. And these guys are doing well. These guys you plant about 6 inches apart. And they're going to grow about 10 inches, 6 to 10 inches high. And they'll create a cute little border here in front of this rock. This trailing verbena in lavender. This thing, I forgot what it said, maybe like 2 feet in trailing, maybe a little bit longer. I'm just going to trail and hopefully fill out this spot right here. And we got that beautiful lavender color, contrasted it against the pink coneflower, the echinacea, that beautiful pink of that echinacea. We have a lot of pink echinacea, and it makes me so happy. I love sharing it. My mom grows a lot of pink echinacea. Here, just right here in this one section, we have 4 different plants. Look at that beautiful cone. That beautiful cone shape of that one. And these are going to be nectar rich. And here's that fourth one in that section, in this section. And these are your nectar rich, butterfly attracting flowers that are a must to add to your butterfly garden. I picked up this Monarda from Proven Winners. I actually divided it with this book end that I added. And I hear the hummingbird again. But I actually saw the hummingbird on one of these earlier today as well. So I just love that bright pink color, that hot pink. My mom even was like, you're going to love this color. You're going to love the way it looks. And yeah, these guys probably need to be trimmed up. But the hummingbird still loved it, even though, you know, it's not the most pretty right now with all these dead little petals. But that's okay. They loved it. And that's what we're going for. We're going to attract your butterflies, your hummingbirds, and just, you know, also keep it healthy for the bees. But so we added in, my daughter went to How Do Flowers Grow little seminar. She's 5 at the local library. And we added in some of those sunflower seeds that she brought home. They're, you know, they're pretty shaded, so they might not do that great right here. But year 1, we're learning. So as we mosey on down into the garden bed, like I said, we have the 4 Echinacea. And we're supposed to have some more yellow lantana. There's one right here. But we need to replace some 2 that died. So those need to be worked on. I added in some tall verbena. These guys are supposed to get max of like 6 feet, 5 feet. So I added in a little hedge of those as well. Again, pink. I'm going with the pink theme in this section. As we mosey on down here, I had this Mexican mint marigold. It's cute little, look at that dainty, cute little flower. It's a herb, but it's definitely a pollinator attractor as well. I added in some to fill in the space. It's kind of act maybe like a ground cover. I added in 2 trailing vincas. They're white. So I'm going to experiment to see how those do in this section. Here we go. Red salvia. They love the red color. Hummingbirds love the bright colors. The red, the purple. Another whirling butterfly. Some more pink mollies. I added in like about a dozen Thumbelina zinnia seeds over here. I had started these early in the garage, but not early enough to get any flowers in just yet. Red salvia. We got a milkweed. Red salvia. Black-eyed Susan. These have yet to show any buds like the other ones did. Oh yeah, they're, oh. Oh jeez, so cute. He's on this other one. There he is. Red salvia. He was, when I first heard him, he was on the pink Mandora over there. My daughter and I picked out this globe amaranth just because look how good, I mean, how could you not? It's an annual, but that's such a unique shape of the bud. So we have this right here, and the color too kind of goes with all the other colors that I'm trying to add to my space, to our garden. We got some more of these ground cover, drought tolerant verbenas, homestead verbena, and we got our Vitex, which our hummingbirds love to perch on. This guy is showing their buds, just no color just yet. This was a stick, right? There was no foliage on it at all when it first came into our yard, and now it's showing so much green foliage, and it's a perfect addition to the butterfly garden where we need a space for your hummingbirds and your butterflies to perch. So this is a must, I would definitely say. In year 0. So we have this rock here in front of the Vitex. And we have the yellow, the new Gold Lantana. Then you have some Echinacea. We have a Miscanthus back there. And then Echinacea. And then here's another Miscanthus that's showing some tuft grass. I don't know if tuft is the right word, but little sprigs of grass coming up. We have, in this container, we have Greg's Mist flower, and this is going to be a high attractor for your queen and monarch butterflies. We're coming to see a bud right here. Oh, this is so exciting. All these buds of these flowers that have just been showing just green makes me really excited. And y'all, I don't know, can you see that wonderful sunset? How beautiful. So I added in another Greg's Mist here. It definitely needs to be trimmed to remove these spent flowers. A whirling butterfly. We have this other whirling butterfly. We have other whirling butterflies under the Vitex, but they're probably going to need to be moved, or the Vitex is going to need to be trimmed at some point, because they're definitely colliding with one another. In this space, I added in some cute little tiny zinnias to create some sort of border patch in this section. Again, a nice section to experiment with different colors and different annuals. I added in some lamb's ear, and it's getting eaten. But there is some good foliage coming too. It's definitely growing some new foliage since I planted it. So that's a positive sign. And then from this part of the garden down, we have a pattern to create some sort of privacy. We have Taylor junipers right here. We put these in, I think they were 5-gallon junipers when we put these first in, so they're only about 4 feet tall right now. 4 to 5 feet tall and about 1.5 feet wide. So they have definitely some room to grow. But we have a pattern of Taylor junipers and pink moly grass. And I wanted to add in some more color here. So I added in some salvia, some purple salvia, and some pink dianthus hybrid. These guys also need to have some flowers, some spent flowers trimmed, but that beautiful pink, and again, inspiration from my mom. She has plenty of these in her yard as well. And then we have some coreospis, a little tick seed coreospis as well that I incorporated here in this particular section between the mollies over here. And I just love it. It's so happy to look at. Here's a different type of dianthus. You can tell because the grass is the foliage, the leaves are a little bit different in color than this one over here. I added in some penstemon as well, and I think I need to come back in and trim some of these spent flowers because those are seeds, and that's not good for the energy of the roots to grow more. I mean, there's definitely, like, this is a new piece of foliage right here. And look, there's more. Those are new buds growing too. So that's good. But to get even more energy into growing more flowers, I need to trim those off. See, here's some cute little tiny blooms right here that are pretty new. You can see some of them are not completely open. But again, we're learning. I thought this was beautiful and wanted to add it to my garden. So here we are. Here's that one red salvia that the hummingbird was on earlier. Over here, starting to get towards the patio, we have our fragrant plants. We got rosemary and Spanish lavenders and another rosemary, and then you got the grass and more grasses. Another salvia. We got a lot of red salvia, which is good, as you can tell from earlier. And then down on this section is not so much color, but more ground cover that I'm experimenting with. Different sedums that I want to test. I think this is sea urgent right here. I don't remember what this one is, but it's pretty, but it's also a nice food. So there's that. We got some woodworm starting to grow some cover here, or wormwood. Always get it back the opposite. And then we got like this blue juniper, I think is what it's called. We have this bed next to the outdoor kitchen part that I incorporated. You got your aromatic plants, right? You got your rosemary. And then I just added in like an ornamental oregano that I've never seen before. So I'm excited to know what this is like. It's supposed to turn pink. So we'll see how that goes. We have some pink salvia down here, which, yes, you guessed it, the hummingbirds also love. And then we have oregano. And then some thyme back here as well. So I have to consider if I want to add in some more space for, you know, like parsley or cilantro as well. But these guys, I like these guys because I like the foliage. I like the way that the oregano looks. It looks hearty, right? Sometimes that parsley or the cilantro is kind of, they're good. We use them, but sometimes it just doesn't look as good as thyme and oregano do. So we have a pot of a silver dollar eucalyptus. So first time growing something like this. I think I'm just gonna leave it branched. I'm just gonna leave it growing the way it is. You know, you can consider cutting it off and forming like maybe more of a tree-like thing, but I'm just gonna see what happens. Maybe cut some off as I need to use it for making floral arrangements once the zinnias and the sunflowers come in. And then I'm gonna come down here. I'll show you these two pots that I have. This is a Hummingbird Haven container, is what I dubbed it. You know, you got some beautiful pink rockin' fuchsia salvia. Look at how freaking beautiful that is. And then you got this doublet as well. And I regularly fertilize this with water-soluble fertilizer. You got your pentas, the same ones that I had over in the other section of the garden. And then I have a container of fuchsias as well. These are supposed to be in the shade, so this gets pretty good shade. Got like a pink right here, and right now there's no active blossoms. And then on this one, oh yeah, here we go. Here's one that's starting to open. It is the most beautiful. Oh, I can't focus it. It is that beautiful. It's so royal looking. There we go. It's that royal, like that deep purple and that hot pink. It is so beautiful. And it's so cool, those little balls. So that's really fun to watch grow too. So that was the backyard. That is our backyard butterfly garden in May, year 0, infancy, to see how everything grows. And I'm so excited to share with you that I had the opportunity to show you. And we had some hummingbirds at night. We had a beautiful sunset. And look, our landscape lights just turned on too. So I hope you come back and you learn some more from me, or, you know, enjoy my garden with me as well. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.